Welcome to today's Fast Track episode of the Growth Zone. The Fast Track is a concept that provides a quick, fast mind feeding for you. Depending whether you listen to it in the morning or in the evening or even midday, you can use it to have some new ideas to guide you through the day. So today we're focusing on the topic, you want investment in your startup, then you need credibility ahead of meeting investors. So, have you done your homework so that you will succeed in pitching your ideas to educated investors? Well, they are definitely no fools. Be prepared for them. They look at your ideas and what is necessary for it to become a profitable investment. They have their own way of mitigating their risks. They have a risk management in place that keeps them safe from losing all their assets. Yes, they diversify to a certain amount. Now, of course, there are people who invest, for instance, in one particular kind of asset. There are these property investors that only invest, for instance, in commercial properties, or those who invest in homes with multiple doors in it, or who just invest in villas with a certain location where they can have a great opportunity to then sell it off to somebody of high level who is willing to pay a high ticket because it is so unique and seldom to get. But that puts you at a position where you have to think, okay, where am I? I'm not doing a property startup. So my startup might be something relating to technology. It might be relating to services, any kind of product, whether you are developing a healthy drink or you're developing products, for instance, to create healthy drinks. Or you have got something that is in relation to transport, to logistics, to travel. Even if it's anything with entertainment, it is something that has surely a position in the market if it all makes sense to the investor. And that's the thing. An investor wants to invest a certain amount of money into your business when he sees an opportunity to get a return of investment. So think about it. What's your startup about? How much credibility do you have? And how much does your business have or your previous activities? Let's say you've just come from university. You've finished your degree and you've got this great idea. Well, I don't know how good your degree is. I don't know who you learn from. I don't know what it is all about. It might be something that's really powerful and it might take 10, 20, 30 years to really become a profitable business, or it might just be a flop. It depends as well very much on your mindset on that. And even if you don't have a university degree, the key thing for the investor will be, am I going to get my money back in the long term? Am I going to make so much more money that I'm not losing on what I would have done if I had just put it in a bank account and got interest? And am I not going to lose even against the depreciation of the currency where I am investing in? Or my own local currency, especially if you're looking at maybe investors that are abroad and willing to invest in your business. Let's have the example. Let's say somebody in USA wants to invest in a Swedish startup. And the Swedish startup is developing some kind of product that maybe is related to, let's say, 3D scanning. Yeah, okay. There are lots of companies who are offering 3D scanners. What kind of 3D scanner? Maybe it's a scanner to scan a product that's on a plate and it's moving around and scanned, and then you can use that for a 3D printer and you can print out prototypes. So that's something you could do. Let's say this 3D scanner is maybe a scanner that is used to scan a prototype or a model that, for instance, a car manufacturer has made. And then they have this huge concoction of thing that can fly over or move across the entire car and measure exact the measurements and then eventually feed it into a CAD system, a CAD system, where then I can, as designer, can start then adding all the technical stuff and finding out, okay, how do I have to adapt certain parts, metal parts, where can I send the cables through, how should maybe the lights look, what's the space and then I've got available for the lights and all these things. Okay, so let's say this imaginary startup in Sweden has got a prototype. It's more or less working. It's not perfect, but it does something. Of course, it can't go by itself over the entire car because it isn't that far yet. But that's something that could be possible, and they would maybe need money to further develop the equipment. They need as well money to pay their lives. They need to pay salaries. They need to pay rent. They need somewhere where they can do tests and so on. They maybe need some cars to test it out, some newer models that maybe changes it different, maybe some prototypes and so on. And it could be that a car manufacturer might say, that's actually a good idea. I want to invest in that. Let's say it's a big car manufacturer with several brands in them. And I say, if we had that technology and then spread that over maybe our 8 or 10 different brands, we could theoretically speed up our new model release maybe by 20%. That can be a huge competitive advantage. And in some countries and some market areas, it can mean that they can make billions in additional profit. But they are aware that, of course, such a solution needs to develop. It needs money, it needs assets, you need good engineers, you need programmers, designers, marketing people, all different things that you need as well. People who can make as well the surface that it is usable as well for the person who's then going to use the tool, because maybe there are additional tools needed. And that's what actually generates the value compared to what everything else is there. And so, even if this investor isn't a car manufacturer and is somebody who thinks, well, if we sell that tool to all the car manufacturers worldwide and they all save billions of dollars, they'd be willing to pay quite a high price tag. Because even if the solution is being sold for $500,000, it doesn't matter for them. Because if the company makes $1 billion, and even if they spend every year on service fees and upgrades of $1 million, it is no comparison to the $1 billion that they're making extra. It's a super investment for them as well to buy that kind of product or solution. And they're willing to buy and pay for service fees so that the product is further and further and further developed. Because maybe a car manufacturer that makes maybe small cars can use that for that. And later on says, okay, we're going to do that as well for our trucks, for buses and trains and all these things. And that's where then the Swedish startup would be able to benefit from that. But the thing is, we are trying to get investment into that startup first. So at the moment, maybe it's just even an idea, a concept, but there isn't really anything standing there, not even a prototype. It's just more or less a model, an idea, conceptual thing, maybe some calculations and so on. One has maybe a more or less idea what it will cost to build the thing, to develop, what the salaries are that we'd have to pay so we get the good engineers that we need. Because many people will not work for free. That's the thing. It's the difference between an entrepreneur, a startup person, and somebody who is actually just in an employee mindset. They want to have a salary. And whether the salary is medium or large depends very much on their contribution as well to the whole thing. And if it's worth it, they'll want to have at least fair share in the deal. And that's where you have as well a challenge, because you need to have the right investment to be able to hire these people and keep them there. At the same time, you might have to invest much more in equipment and transport and travel and so on, because maybe you have to do several tests, have maybe to do tests maybe at the site of different car manufacturers. Maybe you need different models in that to eventually have the right way of this working. But when we're looking just even at this fictitious example, it can be anything else that we're looking at. Even if you're developing a software for trading stock, the same thing would apply there. If it's a very highly complex system and it's very intelligent and can tell you actually ahead of time when to buy and when to sell, you can even maybe recognize how much you should go into the market, with what volume, so that you have the maximum, and what volume might be far too high risk. Then that's something that can be very interesting for people in certain areas. But it's not a product you're going to offer to a consumer. It's not a product you might offer to a corporate. You have to maybe offer to trading companies, to banks and so on, or specialized trading banks and that. Then it is a totally different client avatar, different kind of message that we're sending out. And some of your clients might even be willing to invest in your startup ahead of time to help you get this, because they see with their money you can deliver the solution even faster and at a higher quality, because you can hire more people, you can test more, you can develop more, you're more focused on that, instead of trying to somehow survive whilst you're developing the solution, whilst you're testing it, whilst you're trying to find some clients to generate revenue. And that's the key thing about it. You have to have the credibility ahead of time, because otherwise, why should they invest in you? Have you done your homework? Have you prepared information? Have you worked on all different things that even can relate to branding and so on? And not branding isn't branding always. Certain kind of branding isn't any kind of branding. It's just nothing and has no credibility, might not even have any kind of relation or understanding towards who is actually listening. Doesn't make any sense to them. Do they recognize the branding? And if they don't recognize it and don't even apply it into their own thinking and valuation, then you've got a big problem, because then it's just a waste of energy that you're doing there, because you are not credible there where you need to be credible. So take this. It is now a shorter, fast track than we usually have for the next few episodes, but I think you'll be able to start using that to think up, because the next episode will be interesting as well. We'll go further, deeper, explore more other areas of how to use as well marketing and PR, and as well all the different things, whether it's for getting investment, getting clients, or even finding out what is your competition doing. How can you use that to your advantage? Where can you invest? Whether it's for your private or business relation, you have to think what makes sense. And if you're really liking what you've heard and you think it's good, go and listen to the other episodes that we had before, whether it's in relation to sales, to marketing, the different interviews and all these things. Go and understand how you can apply that in your own business, your own life, your own niche, and use it for a sensible way to advance what we can advance in this world. And not to forget mentioning it, how about subscribing to this channel? Whether you are listening on iTunes, on Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, Podcasts, and all these other platforms, please subscribe. And if you look at the comments, you will see as well where you can connect with us. For instance, on Twitter, we are there, and you can go and send me as well messages and get as well news on other things that we are looking into and talking about. And we can exchange ideas. Have a great time. Hope you enjoyed the fast track edition of today. You can follow me as well on Twitter by using the Twitter ID CAPBARTSCH. Yes, that's Cap Bartsch. CAPBARTSCH. See you soon.